All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another WNBA video. We had almost said spectacular. We had an interesting game last night. It was the New York Liberty versus the Las Vegas Aces. The New York Liberty came out with the win, 87 to the Las Vegas Aces, 78. We're going to talk about that game, maybe a few other things. We'll see if we have time for it. I'm going to rant a lot in this video since the Las Vegas Aces are my team, but if you want to hear me rant, um, like the video. If you have your own opinions, comment it down below. And if you like the vibes, consider subscribing. So, yes, this is going to be a rant video because I watched this game with bated breath because the New York Liberty kicked the Las Vegas Aces' butts on opening night. And I was hoping the Aces could rally back after what is a terminable start for them this season and maybe get maybe get a bit more mojo, maybe get a win off these guys. And was really close at times. It was very, very close. And other times, it looked really bad. Throughout the course of this game, throughout the course of um, this season for the Aces, they've relied a lot on Asia Wilson, um, and they relied on her a lot in this game. Sorry for the pause there. I had to clear my throat. Um, they've been relying a lot on Asia Wilson, and they picked up Nylissa Smith, I believe almost a week ago at this point, to play their center spot. She started this game for them. She played 26 minutes. Chelsea Gray, starting point guard, played 34. Jewel Lloyd played 32. Jackie Young played 33. And Asia Wilson only played 14 minutes, and she had 2 points. She went down with an injury. I think it was at the end of the third. No, end of the second. Pardon me, end of the second. And she went down. She went down in a heap, going up for a layup, and the initial thought was that, and she didn't even catch herself, she literally just hit the floor. And the initial thought was she messed up her shoulder. um Everybody came to her aid and everything like that, and then she went back in the locker room. It was close to halftime anyway, and then she did not reappear till about the fourth quarter, in street clothes, and she was injured. And it was reported, more concretely, that she had suffered a wrist injury. So she did not play a majority of this game, and it was just the Las Vegas Aces out there. And man, this is where the rant starts. This team looks so bad. It looks so confused. It I I don't have the capacity and the words to describe what I saw last night. Um, it was it was one of the most awkward basketball games I've seen from a team with, we'll say, how many people have played together? Like actually played together for an extended period of time. Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, um, Kirsten Bell, Kia Stokes. Um, so what's that? That's one, two, that's four people. And a lot of these other people don't have playing time together. They either joined the team this season or um, we just got there. In the case of Nelissa Smith, they've only played 19 games together or less, and this team looked bad. And I am not going to blame the players. We are going to get into the stats, but I'm not going to blame the players. I'm going to point the finger at Coach Becky Hammon because there was no plan B. There was no plan B for this team if Asia went down. There was no plan B. And we'll talk about what we've heard this morning and throughout the day today on an update on Asia Wilson. We'll get to that. But this team looks so freaking lost. And I recall a point after Asia Wilson had gone down, obviously, that I think it was Chelsea Gray had the ball. Somebody had the ball, right? And they were trying to run this action. And when they were trying to run this action, it ended up there were there were two people in the corner, in the corner closest to the bench, and there was one person sitting like right by the paint almost, or like little bit ways outside of the paint. And it was literally three people stacked in a corner and two people at the top. And I was looking at this and I said, what is going on? What offense what offense does this entail? There was no movement, there was no anything. Um, it was literally just a hope and a prayer out there after Asia Wilson went down. It was just a hope and a prayer. They were hoping shots went in. Um, I'm gonna read you some of these field goal percentages, these field goal stats here, and they're atrocious. Um, they were hoping just shots would go in. There were points in which if they didn't get it on the fast break, the Liberty would just build a brick wall in front of them, and they just couldn't get anything to go in. Even if they got past the brick wall, they would smoke the layup. The layup would just not fall. There were some crazy shots throughout the course of this game that just had no chance of going in, and I was very disappointed that nobody stepped up. Nobody decided, oh, Asia's out. Let me try to do something here. When I say do something here effectively. Because Jackie Young did have 19 points. She had 5 turnovers, uh, three assists, 7 rebounds. She was 2 of 7 from three, 5 of 15 overall from field goal in 33 minutes. I and she was just named an All Star this past night. They announced the reserves. Um, Jewel Lloyd, 10 points, didn't didn't make a three, couldn't buy a three, 5 of 12 from field goal. Chelsea Gray, 11 points, 2 of 3 from three. She's the only person outside of Dana Evans who made two threes, 4 of 9 overall from field goal, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 turnovers. Um, Asia Wilson, 2 points, like we said. Um, Melissa Smith, 11 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, 4 of 5 from field goal. Did not take a three. Um, just an awful game. And with that being said, this is the kind of thing that can either make or break your season in a sense. Um, if Asia Wilson's out for an extended period of time, that opens up a lot more opportunity, a lot more run time for other players to get in their rhythm, get in their more comfortable spots. I'm talking about Jewel Lloyd. I'm talking to you, Jewel. For somebody who hasn't been comfortable throughout the course of the season playing next to Asia Wilson, this will give her an opportunity to do that. But it could also sink the season because if this is the type of games that they're just going to keep having, like Jewel Lloyd, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, like anything around this is not a winning team. They're 9-10 on the season. They're 4-6 in away games, and I'm gonna read you I think this is a thread. This isn't a tweet. It's a thread from Asia Wilson from today. This was when was this? This was 2 hours ago, so it's fresh, pretty fresh. Um, and it says, and I quote, "Well, nothing wakes you up like the sound of an MRI machine. LOL. But just want to say thank you for all the prayers. New York Liberty, thank you so much for the quick help and privacy. I truly appreciate it. To my squad, thank you for preventing my crash out. LOL. God has a plan, but that I'll never question. We are going to be all right." She said that in a thread, and from my understanding, um, and from what I've heard today, and talking to other people about this, the MRI machine is usually used for a soft tissue injury, so it's not. It might not be bad. My first thought, and you have to watch it, the way she fell. She like fractured her wrist or broke it. I don't think she broke it, but I think she might have fractured it in some capacity because she was in a lot of pain. And it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good at all. Um, in a season where they really needed Asia to play all her games, and she's been relatively healthy throughout the course of her career. I mean, you look at dating back to I guess when we'll say post 2020, right? We'll say post 2020. She played 32 games, 36, 40, 38, and this season she'll play 16. I think she had one of the longest active streaks of games played consecutively without missing. I think it was like 60 something. It was like it was a high number. Um, but she she played 16 games this season. She's been averaging 30 minutes, 20 points, two turnovers, two blocks, one steal, almost two steals, eight rebounds. Her free throws around 85. Her two pointer is around, her mid range is about 47. Three pointer isn't the best, has never been the best, and her field goal was actually one of her career lows at 45. Um, that could be in lieu of not having any help and nobody to kick out to, so they defenses can just collapse on her. And I do want to talk about a bit more, not so much that the Aces play bad, but how good the Liberty were in defense. Again, they built a wall. Every chance they had, they just denied a transition basket. Just absolutely denied it. And the Aces had no like game plan to get to like a shot or any movement off ball or anything like that. It was just, oh, your turn, my turn. Oh, Jewel Lloyd. Oh, Jackie Young. Oh, Chelsea Gray. You take the ball. Blah blah blah. Kick it out to Christian Bell. Kick it out to Dana Evans. Oh, Keith Stokes gets a little post touch. Had 0 points on the game, by the way. Two personal fouls, two turnovers. Keith Stokes, and yeah, I am slightly concerned about this. Not slightly. Let me redact that. Let me reframe that. I'm desperately concerned about this Las Vegas Aces team. I'm desperately concerned. Now, this is an opportunity for the team when the franchise to say, "Hey, Asia, this is going to be at the end of the season." For Asia to say or the franchise say at the end of the season, Asia missed a bunch of games. It was a bad season. Let's restart next year, right? Because this you might have to throw this season away. The Drew Lloyd experiment isn't working. Um, Jackie Young, oh my God, somebody said something really good about Jackie Young, and they said like she's not bad. She's just not good enough. Like she's an all-star level player, but like if you just watch her game to game, she doesn't play like an all-star. Like she puts up numbers as an all-star, 19 points in this game, the leading scorer for uh her team, second leading scorer for the game, Jackie Young. But game to game, she doesn't play as an all-star, you know? And maybe this is the opportunity for Jewel Lloyd, Jackie Young to get their shots off, get more in a rhythm, and hopefully Asia can come back. But there is no timetable for Asia, so this might just be the team for the rest of the season. And this team, this team, I don't like this team without Asia Wilson. No siree, no siree, no no no. Um, let's talk about the New York Liberty and how good they played. Um, this game for the Liberty, I have a hard time watching the Liberty. Um, well, let me rewind this. Um, 2 points of note for the Liberty and why I thought the Las Vegas Aces could win this game as well. No Natasha Cloud, um, left hip discomfort, and no Jonquel Jones ankle injury. They were also missing a couple other pieces, but those were the major ones. So I thought maybe the Aces could come in here. Oh, it's Asia Wilson and company versus Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. More of an even matchup versus the stacked New York Liberty team that the New York Liberty were in the beginning of the season. Um, Also, fun fact: um, the New York Liberty held the Las Vegas Aces to 87 and 87 in both games they've played this season. The Aces have not scored more than 78 points, pardon me, this season against the Liberty, both times. Uh, Very concerning. um, so it was just Sabrina and just Brianna and a bunch of their role players out there, and they beat the brakes off the Aces. Sabrina with 28, um, 8 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 3 turnovers, only 1 foul. Took a bunch of free throws. Um, 1 of 9 from three, 9 of 23 overall from field goal. I still don't like. I've been saying this, and I don't know why. And I was really watching this game. I just don't like the way Sabrina plays basketball anymore. Like it just feels so forced. And I don't. That might be a hot take. I'm not here to do hot takes, but it just feels like it doesn't feel like the way she used to play. And maybe this is just the way she's gonna play from now on throughout her career. But is just sort of forced. Like the shots are bad, and she's not that she's foul baiting, but she's like she knows the call's coming, so she doesn't complete the play almost all the time. Now, granted, some of these shots she did complete, going to the basket, throwing the ball up, laying it up, and getting fouled. She knew the ball was going in, and she got the foul. Other times, she's just throwing it up. You know, a bit of a micro criticism of mine, but I just don't. The way Sabrina plays is so, and maybe it's a factor in that both of her uh, All Star teammates didn't play in Natasha Cloud and Jonquil Jones. Maybe she's just playing with Stewie. Maybe she's just trying to get everybody else involved. Because there are was this one, two, three, four, five people in double digits, which isn't terrible. It's actually really good considering like you got Marina Johannes with 10 off the bench. You have Kennedy Burke um, in the starting lineup, 10 points, 6 steals, crazy. You have Leone Fibic with 15 points, 3 blocks. Um, Nara Sabali, 4 points. Really shouldn't be starting, but they have no other big body. um, and then you got Brianna Stewart with 15 points, 7 assists, five. It was 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover, 4 14 overall, 1 of 2 from three. I'm not gonna complain about the refs. The refs are bad. The refs have been bad all year. Um, in a bunch of games, not just these games against the Aces and Liberty, but the favoritism is showing. I can't be too mad at it. I mean, th- they played a complete game. The ship over on the other bench was run so much better than the ship in the visiting team's bench. So much better. That's what it came down to. And to be quite honest, this is very bare bones, but it's very obvious as well. And I think it should be said. Sandy Brondella has outcoached Becky Hammond twice this season, and I think Becky Hammond has lost the plot a little bit. Now, granted, the Aces have done. How am I going to say it? The Liberty have done more with less, but now the Aces can't do more with less, if that makes sense. The Aces have less talent, and they can't. Less talent than past years, and they can't compete. Even in this game, even if it's a sample size like this, where it's just Stewart and Sabrina, they have less, but they can do more. In other years it's been flipped, and the Aces are just getting a taste of their own medicine at this point. They're getting trampled over, they're getting run over, and um, it's not great. It's not a great feeling. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for my rant. I mean, we can dive into some of these other numbers where like this is one of the worst Aces years in, let's see, since like 2020, since like 2018 when they first moved to Las Vegas. Um, they're 3 losses away from equaling their losses from last year. They were 27-13 last year. They're 9-10 already on this season, and yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. You might be in a bad situation, and it's not looking good with the Asia injury. If we look at the Liberty here, they're very close to already. They're 2 games away from equaling their losses from last year with 8 losses last year, but they have started the season 13-6, creeping towards All Star break here. It's about 2 weeks away, and yeah, man, the tables have turned for sure. I think I don't like so much how the Liberty play, or in the sense of like they're coached well and the game plan as well and the scheming as well. The actual like encore antics of them getting the foul calls and them having the favoritism of the refs is sort of not surprising since they are the champs as well. But it's like sort of also like not a positive thing because it's carrying on from last year what happened in the finals against the Lynx where the Lynx probably should have won those finals. But the refs and everybody, they wanted the New York Liberty to be champions. They wanted New York to be the city of champions again. It was what it was, and I'm not gonna harp on that too much. Let's move on to something fun. As I was speaking, I literally just remembered because I blanked out all of last night because of the terrible loss. Um, that they did the WNBA reserves. As I was talking about this, as I was talking in this video, I remember that they did that, and they did the draft as well. It was how do I say this? I don't want to say it was bad, but it wasn't. It was okay. I personally, as somebody who watches a lot of live sports and everything, um, I will always hate the remote interviews and remote um like stuff like this because there's such a delay. Like you're talking over each other. It just feels so like shoddy and so like bad. And I don't know how ESPN is a multi-billion million dollar company and you can't find a way to not have lag in a conversation when you're talking between three people. Um, Nevertheless, I'm trying to pull up this freaking roster, and they're like, okay, here we go, perfect. All right, I got the rosters pulled up. Enough of my ranting about ESPN and their production value and how bad it is. Let's talk about the teams. Team Caitlin Clark versus Team Afisi Collier. Let's freaking yap about these teams, and I'll give a prediction who's gonna win. Um, let's start with team. Let's do Caitlin Clark first. Caitlin Clark. So I, so Caitlin Clark had the first pick of the starters, the first round, and then Nafisa Collier had the first pick of the second round, which would have been reserves or bench players, right? So let's go through Team Caitlin Clark here. Caitlin Clark select. We're not going to go in any order. I'm just going to go in the order I feel like. Caitlin Clark selected two of her teammates on the Indiana Fever. She selected Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, keeping the crew together. I like it. And she selected um, two MVP hopefuls in Asia Wilson and Satu Salbi. Oh my god, I always say it wrong. Satu Satu Sabali. Tongue twister, man. I can never get it right the first try. And then she selected a player we talked about in our game and talking about the game, the Liberty versus the Aces, Sabrina Ionescu. So a pretty decent start, a pretty decent start to the draft. Um, going through this, and you'll see as I talk about these next few couple players she picked. There's not going to be a lot of rebounding on this team. Um, there's going to be enough. I think there just might be enough, but I think between Aaliyah Boston, Asia Wilson, and Satu, you'll be okay. Um, she also picked a couple rookies in Sonia Citron from Washington, Kiki Arifin, also from Washington. Pretty good stuff. They've been balling out. She picked Gabby Williams, she picked Jackie Young, and she picked Kayla Thornton, who was the last pick of the draft. I was curious who was going to be the last pick of the draft, and Kayla Thornton was that pick. I think did Kayla play in New York? I'm not too familiar with Kayla. Um, they did just play literally just maybe like an hour ago. They played the Fever in an early game. So this is the team. Once more through, right? Captain Caitlin Clark, um, Aaliyah Boston center, Sabrina Ionescu guard, Asia Wilson forward, Satu forward, Kelsey Mitchell guard, Gabby Williams guard, I think, yeah. Sonia Citron guard, Kiki Arifin um, forward slash center, Jackie Young guard, and Kayla Thornton guard forward, I think, some combination of that. So yeah. I was gonna give a prediction, but let me do the other team and then we can talk about it. So Team Collier, Team Nafisi Collier, right? Nafisi Collier did some hometown picks as well and some friendly picks as well. With a couple of her first picks, she picked Brianna Stewart, who she co-founded Unrival with. She picked Courtney Williams, who she teammates with on the Lynx, and yeah, she picked a couple of her Unrival teammates here. We'll go through them here right now. Alicia Gray, Nneka Ogwumike, Skylar Diggins, Angel Reese, Elisa Thomas, who's been balling out in Phoenix, and Kelsey Plum, and Ryan Howard. So a big team. Big. When I say big, I mean big. I mean, what? I think the smallest person on this team might be Courtney Williams or Kelsey Plum. Um, this team is gonna get boards. Now, I was thinking this when I saw this draft and I saw it live. I said, Team Caitlin Clark is gonna win if Sabrina and Caitlin and Jackie and Kelsey Mitchell can shoot the lights out. If they can make every shot go in, they're gonna win this All Star game. If they don't, Team Collie is gonna win because they got some rebounders out here. They got some big bodies. They got forwards that also pass the ball. They got really good passers. Um, they have Paige Beckers, who's been on a heater recently as well. They have Nneka, who's been on a heater. Obviously, they have the Brianna Stewart thing. Um, and they have Lisa Thomas and Kelsey Plum. And I think structurally, if you just write the teams down on paper and just look at the names, Team Collier is better. But I think through the actual course of an all-star game and players actually trying and like players really wanting to win this game, because there's a money incentive as well. I think if Team Clark can get off to a hot start and just start draining threes, and you got Asia and Satu down there doing their mid-range thing, you got Leah Boston down there doing a rebounding thing, I think Team Clark has this. Would I put money on it? I would put money on. Well, here's the thing. Also, Asia Wilson might not play this game, so you might have to get a substitute in here. That could affect some things as well. I'm 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 still standing pat. I think the way this draft went, I said this from Jump Street. I would, if I was Caitlin Clark, I would just take in Brianna Stewart and just messed up the whole draft for Nafisa and just say, okay, you pick somebody now, and then we'll just go back and forth. There were trades available. Anybody could have made a trade at any point. It would just have to be starter for starter or reserve for reserve, and no trades happened. There was one coach trade though, however. Team Clark's original coach was the Minnesota Lynx coach in the regular season, and Caitlin Clark traded her coach to Team Nafisi Collier, so Nafisi Collier, Courtney Williams, and company could play with their regular coach, essentially, their regular season coach. So yeah, that was it. Who do I think could? I would have to pull up the numbers. Well, not because they're just gonna pick somebody. Who do I think could replace Asia Wilson if Asia Wilson doesn't play? Man, oh man, names are tough. Names are tough. Let me poke around a bit. Let me poke around. All right, I got some names pulled up here, strictly from the voting numbers. So you got John Quill Jones here, who's injured. Um, Jerika Hamby could make an appearance. Lakia Jackson, Camila Cardosa, who's doing international commitments right now. Sophie Cunningham. Um, Skylar Diggins wasn't on this. No, she was. Yeah, she's in the right corner. Okay, yeah. Brittany Sykes, Dejanay Carrington, Tasha Cloud is injured also. Kate Martin. There are some names. If I had to give it to somebody, it would be Cunningham, or it would be Cunningham, Sykes, or Hamby. It would have to be one of those. Or Natasha Howard. It could be Natasha Howard as well. That's a good one too. Lexi Hole is also here. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see who they replace Asia Wilson with if she's gonna be out for an extended period of time. Because man, oh man, that'd be interesting too. Anyways, we'll talk about All Star as it gets closer. I don't think they've announced the participants for the 3-point contest yet, but we'll talk about that. Um, I didn't expect this video to be this long, but here we are. I did not expect to talk about NBA, WNBA All Star stuff, but I literally just remembered as I was talking through the course of the Aces and Liberty game that they did do that. I had just wiped it from my memory because I just wanted to forget about last night as an Aces fan. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Check out my WNBA playlist. I'll put it in the top right corner. Just click it. It will take you to the whole playlist. If you want to check out my other WNBA stuff, if you want to check out my NBA stuff, there's also that stuff on my channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Cheers.